coach is nothing but a teacher. You're just teaching a different subject than, say, English, which I taught for many years. But it's still teaching. You still must follow the laws of learning, work with others under your supervision, just as you do in any other position where you're in charge, so to speak. I think all of those that reach in the coaching profession, that reach the status where they seem to be considered among the better, it's because they all had extraordinary talent. You don't do it without talent. Not everyone does it with talent, but no one does it without talent.
We only have a little over 7 minutes. Take a lot of time on our offense. Get some good shots. Don't rush anything now. You don't want any forced shots at all.
I've said oftentimes that the two most important words in our language are love and balance. Balance is keeping things in perspective, never permitting yourself to get too high or too low. There's balance in everything. Now, with my basketball players, I'd point out something they could see a little better. I said, let's look at what we have in basketball. We must have physical balance. We must have mental balance. We must have emotional balance. But those things are not quite as important as the perspective of keeping things in perspective. And that will enable you to keep balance in your, as far as physical and emotional and other ways. The meeting before season ever started, I explained to him, now, young man, I'm not going to like you all the same. You won't like me all the same. You don't like each other all the same. I'm going to love you all the same. And I'm not going to treat you all the same. I'm going to try to give each individual the treatment you earn and deserve, but I'm imperfect. I'll be wrong. And if I'm wrong too much, you won't have to worry about me. I'll be fired.
If we don't get a breakdown here, we wait and set up. We don't try to force it. And Bill, how many times must I talk to you about throwing that ball down the middle?
Abraham Lincoln said there's nothing stronger than gentleness, and I believe that. I believe in working with animals, the gentle approach, more than the whipping approach. You take a team of horses pulling a wagon out of a gravel pit, perhaps, which I saw when I was young, when mostly were gravel roads. I saw a young fellow with a beautiful team whipping them, and they were frothing at the mouth, stomping, pulling against each other. I saw my dad walk over, stand between them, talk to him a minute, step behind, quiet him down, and they pull right out together. It's like leading and driving. I think the gentle person leads. I think the driver is more like being in front with a banner than being behind with a whip.
At the final buzzer, the score is 96-77. And the UCLAians and their great coach, John Wooden, are just one game away from their 6th consecutive NCAA title.
We make a living by what we got. We make a life by what we give. Too many give material things, and too much of the time it's for the response that they get from others. That he gave this, but no, it must be done from the heart. I believe it was James Russell Lowell said that it's not what we give, but what we share. The gift without the giver is bare. Who gives of himself, of his alms feeds 3, himself, his hungering neighbor, and me. Those that give from the heart and give freely, they have a wonderful feeling.
With his 10th championship in 12 years, for John Wooden, there is joy. For the public, there is belief that a wizard truly reigns in Westwood.
I'm very proud of the fact that I've had an extremely close relationship with all the youngsters I've had under my supervision through the years, going back to my high school days. I'm very happy, I'm very proud of the fact that practically all of my players at UCLA graduated and have all done reasonably well or extremely well in whatever professions they chose. And my relationship with them is still good. Bill Walton calls me 3 or 4 times a week from wherever he is. And there are others that I hear from once a week, and going way back to youngsters that are in the 80s that I had when I was teaching high school back in Indiana in the 30s.
Twins win their 4th straight national crown. John Wooden is Coach of the Year, and until proven otherwise, UCLA is still #1.
Cervantes said, the journey is better than the end. I consider the journey, I equate that with practices. The end is the games. And I do believe that is important. It is the getting prepared is the most important thing, and that is the journey. Never try to be better than somebody else. You have no control over that. And that's something that my father gave me years before when I was in grade school. Never try to be better than somebody else. Just learn from them, and never cease trying to be the best you can be. That's under your control, and the other isn't.
John Wooden, 40 years of coaching, high school, Indiana State, UCLA. His last game, his last half, his last 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Somebody asked me that question, said, are you afraid of death? And I said, no, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not intentionally going to hurry it up at all, but I know it's coming, and the older I get, the sooner I guess it's going to be. William Cullen Bryant, in one of his poems, Thanatopsis, he closed it with, so live that when thy summons comes to join that innumerable caravan where each shall take his chamber in the silent halls of death, thou go not like a quarry slave at night, scourged to his dungeon, but sustained and soothed by an unfaltering trust, approach thy grave like one who wraps the draperies of his couch about him and lies down to pleasant dreams. If you do and conduct yourself in a way that you're at peace with yourself, there's no fear of death. I've had so many wonderful things happen to me in my life. I should not fear a death. I should be grateful for all the years that I've had. You must have peace with yourself, not worrying about the hereafter, but looking forward to it.